Good afternoon, everybody. How's things? It's a little bit rainy maybe here in Scunthorpe, but other than that, not too bad at all. It's dry for the minute, but rain's coming, I can tell you. But inside it's always sun shining, so what can we do today? Lots of things, actually. Lots of things going on over here. We think we might have a new apprentice. More to have that to come. And then, of course, we've got tile 229 today. And then I'm on Hobby Maker on Thursday, and I'm with Tony Darroch in his studios on Friday. So really busy week to be getting on with. So let's all have a bit of a breather. Let's all chill out and take our time. So what do I have? I've got a brown tile here. It's one of the earth tiles, and I've just inked around it. I've used a bit of pink and a bit of blue just around the edge there. I've not been particularly neat, but doesn't really need it, so that's fine. I've got my regular pen pencil tortillon. I've got my white pencil, and I've got my spare tile because I need to draw a border, but that's okay. I've got my white as well, my white pencil, but of course you can bring the metallics in with this. They work really well. So let's get started. I'm going to come straight in with a pen, and let's have a look. Which one shall I use? I think I'm going to use my 03. You can use whatever you like. You can go as straight in with a white pen as well if you want to. But I'm going to go in with the black. Let's see how we get on. So here we go. I'm going to start with a border. So if I just line that one up there. Oh, are we level? Well, oh, we're not level anymore. And let's put our border in. Again, if you want to do this freehand, you can do it freehand, it's absolutely fine. So I'm just coming in with that little bit of a corner point there. And let's draw this one in, like this one in. Okay, so far so good. Here we are. So next thing, I'm going to come in with my pencil. I just want to make a couple of little marks, and this is, I want to find out where my my center point is. See here? There, and turn my tile. I'll do one here and one there as well. Okay, so I've got that kind of shape going on, and I also need a little bit of a point in the middle. So I find the best way to do that is to work sort of horizontally that way and same that way. See, put a little cross in. All right, so I've got this sort of working there, and maybe here I'm just going to put a little line so I can get that shape in there. Okay, so straight in with pen if we're up for this. And what I want to do is I want to create a curve from here to here. So I'm going to turn it slightly, and it doesn't matter where you start, or if you want to go the other way, it's fine, because we're going to do this on all sides. See, just sort of guide yourself around to start with, and then create that curve. There we go. If I turn it again, and again, you can just have a bit of a practice before you put pen to paper, and then straight down. There we go. Just finish that bit in there, and then same into this one, from here to here, into there, and then of course next one. Here, all the way along to there. Okay, so we've got this sort of odd kind of shape there. And I'm going to redo this in the middle, not too big, sort of a little aura, sort of there and there. And then maybe turn it round and same there. Okay, so far so good. I'm going to work again just on these little curves. Let's come in a little bit more, and I'm going to come from here to here, so same sort of curve, but working on one side all the way along to the next, and then turn it again, and then from this side along and to the next, and then again from here all the way down to here. this one from here to here. Okay. All right. So let's focus while we're here on the center. And I'm going to put this little shape in the middle there. And then from each line, I'm going to go from this one up to join that space. Turn it round. Here to this space. And around again. And to this one. And around again. And to this one. Okay, we've got that. So if I follow this line here, I'm going to just aura that line and just work along those little steps there. Turn it again and follow it along just till we get to the end there. And again, and follow it along. I'm not too worried if I don't fit all of them in, or if there's more in one than the other. It's absolutely fine. You just want to fill that space with some lines in. There we go. So let's have a look at this point here. I'm going to come to this top section and put in a little loop, not all the way up to the top, just leaving a bit of a gap there. And I'll do the same on each of those points. Same with this one. And turning it round. And the same with this one. Alright, so I'm going to start here. I'm going to create the little loop shape. Same shape, but it looks like it's going behind. And you see how it's sitting up a little bit? So it's a little bit taller. There we go. And then another one on each side. And then if you can, maybe you want to put another in, or you might find that you're a bit close to the edge there, but I can get another one in there. And there to there. And then I'm going to turn it slightly because I want to put a bubble in there. A pot bubble anyway. So move to the next one. And again, just so it's slightly raised, one either side. And then here's our second one. One either side. And I can just about squeeze that third one in there. And one there. And then there's that little bubble over the top. So turning it round again. One here. And one here. And then working my way onto the next one. And then onto a third from there and there. And then of course I'm going to put that bubble in. Okay. Then into this one. First one. And one this side, and then into the next one. And I can't quite get one in there, but I can there. So let's do it so it's just sort of hiding underneath there. And then I can still get that one in. And then same as before, a little bit of a bubble in. You see that's going to go underneath as well, so it's absolutely fine. So let's look at this next sort of section now here. I'm going to start putting a little mark maybe at the top, sort of in the middle. Let's do that on all sides. Okay, it's only a little dot, so you don't have to worry about doing it in pen or pencil. And then I'm going to take the line from here down to here. So I've got this sort of pointy shape there. Turn it round, same again, and the same on this one, and again, along here, and down this one, And again, on this one, and then down this one. So let's stay with this shape for a moment. So I'm going to produce a little aura there, a little line that follows that one. And then on the other side, let's do it again. And then back onto this side, and then onto this one, and then this one, and then this one, this one, and this one. I even fill that in with ink. It's quite tiny there. So if I turn it round, in with this one, and then to this one, and this one, and I'm going to continue that little tangle there until I run out of space. I'm just going to fill that last one in. Look how much you're going to fill that middle in while I'm at it. Or I might come back later and use metallics for that. Or my gel pens. Let's see how this goes. Now, each time you do this, don't worry about if they're fatter or thinner than the last one. It's just about looking at the space you have and filling it with that little tangle there. The same on this side. Starting on first one side, let's join that there, and then to the other, and then to the next, and continue to work my way down until there's one left there. I'm just going to fill that in. Let's have a look at that. There you go. So we've got that kind of shape going on. Okay, so let's look at these little bits in the middle here. So I'm going to come up a bit more. Oh, let's just go a bit bigger. There you are. So perfect size, I think, for putting in a loop, and then one either side. And I'm going to fill those little gaps in with a bit of ink. And then same on this side, fill in those little gaps with those bubbles. Now you see here I've got quite a gap, so I'm not going to fill that with black. I'm just going to do those little ones there. I see I've gone over a little bit. I could even bring a little line in there, maybe just in that middle one. I'm turning it round. I was thinking actually for the tile swap, if you've not done it yet, you could use the tangle in the frame around the outside, couldn't you? So it's not got to be in, has it? It's you've still got time to get that done. And then of course these little loops. And again I'm going to put that line in the middle one there, just as I did with the last side that I did. And turn it around again. And one into the middle, one either side. Put that little line in and fill it in with a bit of ink there. And then on to the next one. And then this one. And a little line. Okay. And let's turn it round. And into there. And this one, a little line in. So I'm just going to fill that bit up to there. I'm not going to completely fill that area in. We'll have a look at that in a minute and see what we think. And into this one. A little line and fill in those areas. Okay, so we've actually got that sort of bit of space in each of those corners, so I am going to come in and fill that in. Some have got a little bit more space than others, so if you've got your brush or if you've got a slightly thicker pen, you could use one of those. Fill it in no time. There we go. Same with this one. Slightly smaller space, but same sort of thing. Then to this one. And working my way around. And there we go. So let's have a little look at that. Okay, so we've got quite a busy design going on in there. It's quite nice. What we're going to do with the corners, let's have a look. Let's start with a curve. 1, 2, 3. And then let's do the same thing in the other corners. Just counting 3 and then turning and moving on. We go 1, 2, and 3. And the last one, 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So let's go a bit bigger. Again, I think I'm going to come in and fill those in actually with the black. So find my brush again. It's your choice. You can leave it or you can fill it in if you want. I might fill them in as I go. So there's my first section. And there's my second section. And then I'm going to put a little loop in the middle there. And then couple this side, a couple that side. If you can't get the full one in, it doesn't matter. So to the next one again. Just bringing that brush in and filling in that little section there. And then a bubble in the middle. And of course 1, 2 this side. 2 on that side. And to the next one. Fill in. Of course you could do this in a different colour if you wanted to. Or you could leave them blank. You could fill it with lines. A lot of choice there. It's entirely up to you. And a little sort of a bubble there. And let's have a couple this side. And a couple that side. Turn it again. Just bringing that pen in. Filling that space there. Okay. Put that away for a minute. There we go. And of course, little bubble there, and then 1, 2, and same again there. So we've got that kind of design all the way around. So let's have a look at bubbles, and I'm going to start around this outside edge here. I'm going to fill a row of bubbles. Not too large, but as long as they touch each other, they don't have to be the same size. No, work my way around it. And when I get to the bottom, I'm just going to go a little bit smaller. Try and keep it in with that border. Same with this one. And take my time with it. Little bubbles. And there we go. Taking my time. And of course around again. And filling this side. Just sort of finishes that edge off. And of course if you had a little bit of a wobble when you were drawing your curve, as sometimes we do, adding some bubbles on the edge just neatens up the line a touch. And then to the next one. So just take your time with these, give them the respect they deserve and follow it round, don't rush them too much. If you find that you draw ovals rather than bubbles, maybe you are going a little quick and you just want to maybe slow down a touch. There we go. Okay, so that's where we're at. So back into our corners now, and I'm going to bring in quite a familiar tangle, I would say. A couple of little lines. Now if you do this tangle all the time where you think, I've done it before, why not try it sort of a bit bigger or rounder. You normally do a slightly squashed version. And just change it up a little bit, see how you feel with it. It's nice to change them a little bit now and again. So I'm going quite round with this, you see, not too small. So we're not going to fit a lot of these in. I'm trying to get that nice round feeling there. Okay, sort of same on, let's have a little one on this side so it looks like they're coming out from underneath there. All right, like that. And moving to the next one, similar sort of thing. I'm going to start from this side this time because I don't want them to be the same. I want to swap them around a little bit. And around we go. And, try and keep them a little round. Or maybe if you always do them round, maybe you want to try them as a bit squishy. Sort of flatten them out a little bit, see how that looks. They're all sort of bunched in there together. And, very definitely connecting, aren't they? It's a nice one to do. It's pretty simple, but you just take your time with it. Enjoy doing those little lines and getting around with that bubble there. And into this one. Maybe just a little one there. And in we go with that one. Okay. So into the next one. Again, I'm going to start in a different place. And I'm not looking at what I've done before. Let's just sort of work in the space that we've got. See what happens. Okay. There we go. Another one here. And maybe one sort of there. Okay. So we've got these little gaps in between now. So let's fill it with some bubbles, all sort of different sizes. And of course, if you've got a little bit of space that you can't really get a bubble in, then go ahead and fill it with some ink. There we go. I'm going to work my way down into these spaces too. Just fill them up there. See? Don't try and keep them the same size. Let them sort of fill the space that they have. Add a little bit of ink in there as well, just to break it up. Very squashed in there now, aren't they? There you go. All right, let's look at the next side. So we'll start from wherever you want to start and fill it in with different sizes. And work my way around there. Same with this one. And of course, filling in any little gaps as I go. So I find that easier, filling them in as I go, because if you decide you're going to come back later, sometimes you miss a few. You don't quite know where they are, so there we go. Plus it means it's finished and you can move on to the next little bit then. Okay. Actually this tile now feels a little bit pinky now. It's not really got as much brown in as it started life. I mean, if I just sort of pull out a minute, go and turn it over, see? It's very definitely brown to start with. Put that little bit of ink in there. There you go. There we go. Okay. There we are. I'm sort of continuing to fill this in little bits at a time. Okay. Slope as we go. Working it round into little spaces. And of course, finishing this one off as well. Just adding that little bit of black ink makes a difference, I think. It gives it that little bit of background. So, see where that leads. Bit there, see. And then almost done here. Now the decision, I suppose, is sort of what colour to shade with. Let's have a look at that. There we go. Really lovely in the middle, isn't it there? A little bit of difference. So I think actually I can probably work within the regular graphite. And I'm also going to bring in some whites just to add those highlights as well. So let's sort of see how this is going to look. So I'm going to work firstly on this section here. Let's put some in the middle there, or on the ends. And we'll work our way towards the middle. And same sort of here. Well, that was a little bit narrower. We could have done that slightly differently, but it is what it is. There we go. And the same here. A bit here. And a bit here. There we go. So in the middle, let's make it a bit bigger. Bit on either side of those lines. So we'll do the same on this one. And same here. Either side. There we go. So then I'm going to add just a little bit to the top sections there. And a little bit there as well. See, nothing much, just a little, because they're quite small. And of course some at the bottom of those loops. Now when it comes to our little sort of flowery shapes, I'm going to put some top and bottom. Same with these here, sort of top and bottom. There we go. I'm going to leave that for a little bit. Again, back to the loops, and these I'm just going to add a little bit to those sides, and then top and bottom with these. So you don't have to be so neat, it's just about getting a little bit of graphite on the cardstock there, and tile. Little loops. And top and bottom with this. Okay. Again, little loops, and then little bits on the edge there. So, coming to this little design here, do the corner as one. There we go. Same on this one. Along here. Along here. And just sort of taking my time. Not worried about what's underneath there now. Just focusing on those corners. Maybe a touch along those shapes there as well. This last one. Okay. Right, let's get our torching out. I've got two with me today. I've got one that's got graphite on, and I've got one that's clean. So I'm going to use that for my white pencil in a short while. However, if you think I've only got one, you could use a nail file, and you could just file all the graphite off. That'll help keep it to a point as well. So they will last for a long time. Alright, see, I'm just very gently moving it back and forth, like a bit of a zigzag over the top of the pencil, and just softening out those edges to give it that little bit of a slightly three-dimensional approach there. Okay, and then same with these, I'm going to brush it, push that pencil just slightly down into the shape there. Okay, and then see working along, and same with this one. Just nice gentle sort of brushing motions there. Of course, the loops just soften off the pencil bottom edge there. See, just taking my time. And then a little bit this side, a little bit this side. Thank you, Leslie. Cup of tea time.
Cup of tea.
And this one. And this one. So, same with this. I'm just trying to leave a little bit of tile without any graphite in the middle there, so I can have a little bit of a highlight going on. And the same with that. Oh, Leslie's being in the biscuits. She's now trying to get past John. No, that's not happening. Okay. Okay. So a little bit of softening there, and this side too. I've never seen somebody move so quick when they hear the bag rustle. Leaving a little bit in the middle, of course. Same on this one. And here. There we go. And same this side. Same with this one, just leaving that little bit in the middle with no graphite on it at all. Okay. Of course, we could have added a tangle onto this part. I think sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of a break for your eyes, so as your eyes are moving around the tile, they've got a simpler type of shape that they can rest on. Okay, see, I've worked around the shape. I'm just going to add that bit in there. Same to this bit. So I'm using swirls, just helps to give that little bit of blending there, and a little bit of that. And into the next one. Along we go, and across, and up into this one. And then, of course, into this one, following it round with little swirls, and this one. Okay, so then I'm going to bring my white pencil in. There we go, my chalky pencil, and I'm going to start on the inside and work my way out. So I'm going to add a little bit to the middle of each of these little shapes there. Adding a touch, and then this one here, just going to add a little bit down the side of this top one that we didn't really touch with any pencil. And the little flower shapes here, just a little bit on each of those shapes, just in the middle where we left it with no graphite. Same on this one. Now if you've used a regular cream tile, you can still do this. So it won't show up as sort of bright as this, but you'll still see the difference by adding this on. And then this one. Okay. And then of course coming to the outer edge, this bit here, I'm going to add some just into the middle there. And then the middle here, and then into this one, and this one, and then just working on this one here, I'm going to put a little bit down the middle of that. You see I did a bit of a zigzag, and then just sort of on those stripy bits. And into this one. Now we don't always blend out our white pencil, but on today's occasion I'm going to add a touch. And it is a very little touch. So if can I go a bit bigger? Yeah. Just very gently go over the top. Very gently. So we're not trying to completely eradicate it. We're just trying to blend it in a little bit so it's not got such a sharp edge to it. Same on this. Hardly any pressure. Just be really gentle with it. There we go. And then again, just on these ones, just very little pressure to get those little shapes in. Just touching it ever so gently. Same with this one. Nice and gentle. And with this one. Okay. So this one, so you can tell that we need a little bit of easing off with this. I'm going to go first one way, then the other. Very gentle. Work it across. You see, push it one way, push it the other, and just work it across. Same again. First one way, then sort of the other, and then work it in. Again, very little pressure. It doesn't need much at all. You just want to make sure that it's blended a little bit. There we go. And then of course these ones, just very gently gonna touch it in. These are hardly anything really, just sort of a bit of up and down there. And of course the same on this one here. There we go. So I'm just going to now come back in with my black pen. There's a couple of areas that I want to just bring back out. One of them's these little petal shapes. Just going to redraw those in. Now we've not put much shading on them. We could go in with that white pencil and add a bit more, but I'm choosing on this occasion not to. I want most of the white to happen on the inside there. So these are background features really. And then same on this one. Okay. And then just sort of coming back into the middle here, I want to re-emphasize that line in the middle there. Okay, now again, we mentioned using the gel pens, so we can bring, if I want to, I think a bit of colour. Let's have a look. I've got my pink gel pen here. Just going to go over the top of that black. Oh, that makes a difference, doesn't it? Look at that. And yeah, could colour these in as well, or could leave them. If I make the decision in colour, you can make the decision as to whether you're going to leave it or not. Let's have a look. Let's do that one. And there a bit. And let's do the other side. And bring that in there. Yeah, just brings that little bit of pink. I say it did start life out as a brown earthy coloured tile, but and then of course this end as well. Okay, so I'm gonna fill that in there. And I think also I'm just gonna bring my pen back in and just enhance this outside edge. So just inside the bubbles there, I'm gonna work my way around this shape. See, just sort of on the inside of the bubbles. And onto this one. There we go. And onto this one. Okay, so let's have a look at that. All right, so we could add a little bit more darkness around there, but I think actually it's probably about enough. It's probably what it needs. So we've got a slightly 3D. I think I'm going to bring my pen in on the inside line too. Just sort of on the inside shape. And then round on this one. And this one. There we go. That's it. Okay, so there is our tile for the day. I'm going to just put my initials on. So whether you decide that you're going to work with a single plain colour, whether you're going to add a little bit of gel in there as well, whether you're going to use a light tile, a dark tile, there's lots of options. I've got one here that I actually did. I used a darker brown tile, and then I've used the cream gel pen and the rose coloured metallic as well there, and I've used a bit of green on the inside, so you see you get a little bit of a difference. So slightly same but slightly different depending on how much shading and things I've done. So you've got a couple of options there, but this one's certainly a standoutish one, whereas this one I've not shaded as much with the pencil. I've just used white. So there you go, there's your tile for the day. It's an interesting one to draw. I'm sure you'll have fun with it. So, maybe do one a little bit bigger and stamp a sentiment in the middle. So there we go. Now, of course, next tile is going to be Friday. And of course, I'm with Tony on Friday. So I might have to just change the time a little bit. So if you bear with me with that, I'll put a post out and I'll get Chris to put a post out as well, just to confirm the time. But there will definitely still be a tile on Friday. So, okay, I hope you've had fun with this one. And if you're around, of course, Thursday, then catch me on Hobby Maker. I'm on at 1 and 4. And I think with Tony, I think I'm on at 11:30 in the morning. So that'll be on her Facebook, well, her YouTube page and her website. So yeah, lots to do, lots to be getting on with. So have a bit of fun, everybody. Stay safe. And I will speak to you again on Friday. Okay, everyone. Bye.